Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today's December 18th, 2023. So this is a red alert. Based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an earth-changing event on the date of December 19th, 2023. Now, in the United States, this may occur on the evening of December 18th or the morning of December 21st or 20th, elsewhere. But regardless, some sort of major event is planned on the date of December 19th. So exactly what is planned is obviously not known, but the date of December 19th marks exactly 73 days since the CIA staged the ongoing Israel-Hamas war in Israel. So the number 73 is 3 sevens, is 777. This is found in the I believe it's called a tetragram of the Israeli Jewish Canaanite god of Yahweh. So this is a sacred number because 3 sevens form a triangle, and this is found on the flag of Israel. And the war started on October 7th. The letter 7th is the letter G, and the 19th is the letter S, and this spells gas. And that's why the brand name Guess is also a triangle, because this has esoteric symbology to it. So it appears that the CIA plans to export the Israel-Hamas war to either Europe and or the United States on the date of the 19th. That being said, some sort of major attack or terror event in the state of Israel or its neighboring states of Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, etc. is also a realistic possibility. So the date of December 19th also coincidentally marks 1,077 days since the CIA staged the storming of the U.S. Capitol building. This is important because the number 77 is reflected in the 7/7 London bombings, and it's also 2 sevens also form a triangle. So you have to realize that the 7 is an angle in the triangle, which is found on the Israeli flag. So exactly what type of event is planned for the date of December 19th is not known, but the cities of Washington and New York are the most likely to suffer an attack or terror event. In particular, I just published reports about a Iran-backed Hamas attack targeting the White House. So it appears that the CIA plans to stage some sort of major terror event in the United States targeting Washington or New York, like I mentioned. And in respect to New York, the most likely target is going to be the New York Stock Exchange and Wall Street. So you'll remember the Wolf of Wall Street, etc. So they've been planning this crash for a long time. So what the CIA plans to do is stage some sort of a terror attack or a bombing event targeting the stock market, and then the stock market will plummet, and then this will start a chain reaction whereby the stock market and banks following will crash, and this will trigger a global economic collapse. And this is all courtesy of the Israeli Mossad and their terror groups, which is called the Arab Legion. So this is a group of basically dark Israelis. If you look at Israelis, they can be like Wolf Blitzer, like white, or they can be rather dark. So this is the Arab Legion of the Israeli Mossad, and this is basically the group which they plan to attack America with and then blame it on Iran, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, etc. That being said, there's this new group which they formed a few years ago, I believe in 2014, called Jaish ul Adl. That's JAISHUL-ADL. And ADL is Anti-Defamation League. This is like a joke because the ADL is the largest Jewish lobby in Washington, D.C. So this is like a joke because this is their terror group. Just like we have Hamas, which is indicative of hummus, which is an Israeli food or Jewish food, a traditional Jewish food made from beans, some sort of beans. I forget the name of the beans. But anyways, it's a dip, right? So anyways, these are these Zionists that are basically putting on the Israeli or the Islamic terrorist mask and then going out and committing attacks. And back on, I believe it was December 14th, they issued this alert in Europe where basically they arrested Hamas members in Holland and Germany for plotting attacks on Jewish-related entities in Europe. And so this is designed to grant the Israeli Mossad and the CIA plausible deniability in the aftermath of these impending attacks, which is designed to trigger martial law, a mass evacuation event, as well as, and this is really important here because there's two top secret VX nerve agent stockpiles, if you will. One is located in New York City, which is called the Kennedy Reservoir in Central Park, and the other one is called the Twinning Lake, which is right outside the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And obviously, until we dig down and we find out what's there, it's obviously impossible to know. But it appears that the Twin Towers, the size of the Twin Towers goes down into the ground. So there's one in Washington, one in D.C., and these are basically reservoirs or twin wells that are completely filled up with VX nerve gas. And once they stage this impending event in Washington and New York, then they will activate this, and then this will cause a mass evacuation event, and millions of people will die, and it will be absolutely terrible. And then they'll move the capital from Washington, D.C. to Colorado, to Cheyenne Space Force Base. So, in respect to the attack, pending attack, which will inevitably be linked to Iran to start World War III, it will predictably be biological, chemical, a dirty bomb, a nuclear event, a radiological event, a weaponized contagion event, for example, anthrax, Ebola, smallpox, and it'll likely feature a coup, a storming event, as well as possibly a 9/11 style airplane, drone, Osprey, or helicopter-related event. So this will be this impending Israeli-backed Hamas or ADL or whatever you want to call it, attack on the United States is specifically designed to accomplish a number of objectives. The first being a Joe Biden dissolution of presidency event. Either he will die in the attack, possibly under the guise of a heart attack, or he will resign, and then they'll trigger martial law. They'll suspend the 2024 election, which it looks like Trump was going to win, and then they'll start a war, which will predictably become nuclear in nature, targeting the United States, Israel, or Europe. And in closing, I just want to say that in the event that the CIA forgoes this December 19th attack on the United States, possibly targeting Wall Street or the New York Stock Exchange, they're going to choose another target. This may be France, this may be Germany, this may be England, this may be Israel, this may be Lebanon, this may be Canada. We don't know. But the number 73 is sacred in Jewish esoteric numerology. And so it's highly likely that the CIA will stage some sort of an event. They may even resort to some sort of an assassination event, possibly targeting Hamas leaders or Netanyahu or other leaders on the Israeli side, basically to escalate this war. So the CIA is desperately trying to escalate this war because it accomplishes so many of their goals, which they have yet to be completed at this particular point. So anyways, as I do, and I should also mention that the date of December 19th, it's highly likely that the CIA would stage some sort of suicide drone attack, possibly originating from Yemen. These are Iran-backed Houthi militias. The USS Carney has shot down, I believe, 2 drones in the last few weeks. So there's this operation that they got going on in the Red Sea with the USS Carney and a couple other ships. And basically, they've been shooting down these drones, which they say that Iran-backed Houthi militias in Yemen, because there's been a civil war in Yemen since, I believe, 2014. And so what they've been saying is that they've been shooting down these drones. So that one of these drones may land in Egypt, in Israel, and that's because, as I previously mentioned, with the VX nerve gas stockpiles that are located in Washington and New York City, there's two other locations where these VX stockpiles that I've identified are also located. One is the Dead Sea between Jordan and Israel, and the other one is the Sea of Azov above the Black Sea on the Ukrainian Crimea border. And so that's why there's two wars in those particular regions, as well as the war in Yemen and the war in Syria, which are adjacent to these VX nerve stockpiles that are in the beneath the Dead Sea in on the Israeli-Jordan border. And this was constructed back in the 40s under the Dead Sea Project. And similar to the Dead Sea Project, the Sea of Azov above the Black Sea is coincidentally man-made. And so these are these massive VX nerve gas stockpiles. And so the goal of these wars is to stage a CBRN, that's chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear. They added the E recently, which is called explosive, CBRNE. And that's because they want to stage this massive explosion or some sort of biological attack or chemical attack or weaponized contagion attack or nuclear event, and then they'll turn on this spigot of this VX nerve gas, and then under the guise of an outbreak, whether it be smallpox or fallout from a radiological event, such as a nuclear attack or a dirty bomb or something to that effect, and then they'll turn on these spigots, and then this cloud of VX nerve gas is going to begin to float through the ecosystem. And anybody that comes in contact with this, it has a blistering agent in it. So it's going to look like smallpox. So basically people are going to be literally burned alive by this chemical, which gets under their skin. It causes respiratory failure, and it's extremely painful. So, and inevitably leads to death. People throw up, their organs seize, and it's a excruciating death. And so that's why these particular conflicts that we see today, all four wars, and this is the Swiss cross, these are the four wars, that they always have four wars going on somewhere around the world. And this is the, I don't know what it's called, but when you have a puppet on a cross, this is the, it's symbolic in nature. But anyway, that's why we have these four wars going on in these particular regions, is because of these VX nerve gas stockpiles, which they're trying to stage some sort of major event, like a 9/11 style biological, nuclear, chemical attack, or depleted uranium or whatever. And so that they can turn these on, and then at that point, they'll declare martial law, and then they'll trigger World War III. And that's where you'll see official declarations of war, and then the whole machine starts going. And so that's what we're obviously trying to avoid. So just to recap, the night of December 18th today, the date of December 19th, 2023, as well as the date of December 20th in the early morning, we can expect some major catastrophic earth-changing event to take place in the Middle East, Europe, and or the United States. It will most likely be scapegoated onto Iran-backed militias or mercenary groups, possibly the Jaish-ul Adil, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hamas, Hezbollah, etc., etc. And in the event that the CIA plans to go to Plan B, the date of December 19th also marks 663 days since the Ukraine war started. The night of December 18th marks 3,588 days since Russia first invaded Crimea, and the number 88 is a CIA number. So something, Plan B may be some sort of an attack, bombing, terror event, like I previously mentioned, but targeting Moscow, Kiev, or other cities in Russia and or Ukraine. So in the event that the CIA does go ahead and stage some sort of major event on these particular dates, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and national military, intelligence, and law enforcement officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.